Hey everybody, it's Joey with Valley TCG. Um, I know I said I would do a video in about a week or so, but it looks like your boy got lucky. I was able to find a couple of these Brawly decks from Fusion World at one of my local LGSs. They were kind enough to hook me up. I actually had something going on during the day, and they reserved a couple of these for me to go pick up tonight. And I am just so stoked to be able to get my hands on a couple of these products. I know some of this has been found, or some of the starter decks, as well as now blisters, have been found at Walmarts. But whether they were just not stocked at the Walmarts that I'm closest to, or maybe by the time I got there, they were entirely bought out, both of which are entirely plausible. Where I live, we tend to get some product relatively late, and also there's a lot of competition for the products that are available. So, either way, I was really lucky to be able to buy a couple of these for $15. Honestly, if they asked 25 bucks, I would have paid it. I think the Brawly decks are just so cool. By itself, the ramp in this deck, it's not sufficient, but as long as you're able to, I guess, put in a few of the ramp cards from FB01, it becomes a really strong deck and very consistent, and maybe one of the strongest in Fusion World. So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to tear this open and show you guys what's inside. I actually don't know what's inside. I usually take a look at a deck list or something like that. But this time I did not do that. So we are going to find out together. Okay, just rip it up. Okay. All right. And I know I still have One Piece stuff in the back. Hopefully by this time next week, I will have plenty of items that from the Fusion World setup. So I'll actually have a backdrop of Fusion World items so that we're appropriate for what we're opening. And I think there's actually a. Of course, we have the. I think this is going to be the playmat, right? Yeah. So this is a playmat. I'm gonna see if I can find one of those felt playmats, for like $15-20. I don't know if I don't think they're actually available for Fusion World just yet. There's obviously ones available for the Masters Dragon Ball game, and then here's a bonus pack. So there's a bonus pack in every single one of the Fusion World starter decks. So it's almost like. So you get 7 cards in total in each of these, and it's going to be, I think, pretty expensive to buy these outright, right? Because you only get one out of a product that might be hard to come by. So we're gonna open this at the end of the video, and then of course there is a code card in here. So as you can tell, like on the back of the box, that I need to redeem this code card by February 15th, 2025. And that's for the digital version of Fusion World. And so you do get the actual full deck in Fusion World digital version. So I'm really looking forward to being able to play there, so I don't have to drive to a locals every single time to play. I have pretty crazy work schedules. I'll be traveling next week, and it's going to be interesting how how I can squeeze in some celebration events in the middle there. But, you know, to have a digital format, I think I'm just going to dive like right into that. Unfortunately, I'm not going to share the code card. I will share some booster pack cards, code cards, once I get those booster packs. So stay tuned for that, guys. All right, Brawly. Look at him. Look at those juiced up muscles. Really, really cool. We have the unawakened version in the back. And so you have one side, like the unawakened, that is not hollow. And then, but the awakened version is hollow, and that's really, really clean. Turtles, you have 2 turtles in here. I've seen this used in some decks for Brawly, but I think there's actually just better 5-drops out there that you might not need this card, which is kind of crazy to say, right? Because critical is so cool, so like powerful in this game, and especially 30k with critical. And on play, you get to add 1 card with a cost of 3 or more from your drop to your energy. So it's actually a ramp card as well. So it is pretty interesting that this isn't used all that much in decks. And then you have Brawly BR. I don't know what that BR stands for. Anyways, so Brawly, this is just a monster. If you play one of these cards and your opponent can't remove them that turn, you pretty much just win. And even if they do, you might just play your second one if you have that in hand as well, because by the time you get to 8 energy, you're probably pretty set, right? Like you have a lot of cards in your hand at that point, or if you cycle through a lot of cards, so you might be able to play another one right after, and they've already probably hand dumped to remove your 1 Brawly, and then now you play another one. Good luck, sir. You might have just won that game. Angle, it's just kind of a basic 2-drop critical card. This is not used that much. Shamoan, I think Shamoan is a nice blocker. It is a 1-drop with 5,000 power, so that gets removed pretty easily by a number of decks out there. You know, whether it's red or blue, I think there's ways for them to drop power minus 5,000, especially red. So this is an easy removal for a lot. But there are, as you'll see, there are ways to bring him back and to cycle the blocker. So it's an okay effect. Nappa, 2,000 or 20,000 to drop. Mediocre. Paragus. So this is a way to bring back your Shamoans, right? Once per turn, if your leader is Brawly and you have no Shamoan battle cards, play up to 1 Shamoan with a cost of 1 from your drop. So if you have a Shamoan, then in your drop, it got removed, then you play your Paragus, bring him back, blah, blah, blah. It's okay, because if you don't have a Shamoan, then this card is just kind of ass, right? Like 15,000 to drop. You're not going to get too much out of that. I mean, 10,000 combo power, maybe that's where the value will be. So, you know, I'll probably run a set in my deck to see how that plays out, but, you know, we'll see. Another one, if you add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. So this is interesting because this is an Awakener card. And if you don't know what that means, it just means, like, you know, you start with 8 life, and most of these leaders, they have at 4 life or less, you activate and you flip it over, and you get this beefier version of your leader. And why this card is not so good, it's because Brawly, you want to, you know, like I said, right, you want to get to these 8-drop dudes, right? So you actually want to slow down the turns and make sure that you're able to kind of survive all the way until you get to some of the beefy guys. There's a 6-drop, forget, Sun Gohan maybe. Anyway, 6-drop out there that like is also really really beefy. 5-drops are really really beefy. So there's ways when once you get to that curve, you're going to be able to play these beefy guys again and again and again. But you want to get there first, so you don't want to die before that. And there are rush decks out there, like Ginyu, that can kill you before you get there. So you definitely don't want to do that. So these guys, in my opinion, not so good. See, 4-drop 30,000 Brawly. That's okay. That's actually I could see that being in the deck. 40,000 Brawly for 6-drop. It's beefy. Let's see if it makes it into decks. I don't think it will, because there's just so many other better options on 6 from the regular or FB01. And then Vegeta, it's a nice little critical. If you have 6 more energy, this card gets 5,000 power, so it becomes 25 at 6 for 3. Not bad. And then King Vegeta, it's a super combo, which if you don't know what that means, it just means you can only have 4 of these in a deck. And with 4 of these in a deck, what this does, you want to keep this for a super combo to play defense on. So you combo this out, you get 20,000. So these become pretty helpful over time to try to keep you alive as you're trying to ramp and get to that 8-drop Brawly. And then you have Paragus, or Moa. What am I reading here? Moa. I've seen this in some decks. I think they also don't make it. This just draws. This is a searcher for your Paragus. So I don't know. Again, I'm not sold on Paragus. Raditz. This is trash. Gigantic Meteor and Destructive Strength. You want to have these for sure in your deck. Gigantic Meteor. This is an extra card, so it just costs 1 to play. And it's really, really a very strong, buff to something, right? Generally. So choose your leader up to 1 of your battle cards, or up to 1 of your battle cards, and it gets 15,000 power for the battle. Then if you have 6 or more energy, that card gets 10,000 power for the battle. So at 6 you get 25,000 for 1 cost. That seems crazy. Wow. So yeah, so you just, if by 6 you can start smashing their face, especially if you have some beefy guys on the board. You don't even need to get to 8-drop Brawly, right? That's just wild. And then Destructive Strength, add 1 card from the top of your deck to your energy. So why this is so good? Again, you just want these cards to ramp so that you get to 5, 6, 7, 8 as quickly as possible. So that's why you want to play that. And then you have an energy marker, which if you don't know, the player that gets second gets 1 energy marker in their energy area. Removing energy marker from the game is equivalent to switching 1 card from your energy to rest mode. So you can play this once, is what I'm understanding this to be. And if I'm wrong, let me know. So I'm really, really excited to be able to play Fusion World. I didn't really get into One Piece as quickly, the actual game. And by the time I did, it was too late. Everyone's already, all over it. Like, they were smashing noobs already. So I just, like I said, LGS is pretty far from me. So I ended up just not doing that many competitive events. But I will be for Fusion World hoping to hit this as quickly as possible, and especially with the digital format. Thank goodness they have a digital format. Please make one for One Piece so I can learn that game as well without embarrassing myself consistently. So that we can get up to speed. Man, that'd be amazing if they were to do that. And I think if so first of all, I want to say that I think Fusion World, will become a really, really popular game. From an investing perspective, I know we all hate investors out there, blah, blah, blah. But from an investing perspective, if you were to hold on to a couple sealed boxes for yourself, I think those could go up in value pretty quickly. I think booster boxes right now, like $150 on TCG Player, not that bad on release, right? And I think that could go up a lot faster. I mean, as scary as that sounds, than One Piece, because One Piece really, I mean, at release, booster boxes were $60, $70 for Romance Dawn, Blue Bottom, now $1,000 a box. This guy over here, I think people were selling the empty boxes, which this is, for $100, $150 during the craze that we saw a couple months ago, which is crazy to me. With Fusion World, it's $150 for Awaken Pulse at release. It could go up higher. I think it could. And quickly, because there's just going to be a lot of people who are like, well, why don't I just go play the game online? And holy crap, this is a fun game. I want to go to locals. I want to go get my hands on physical product. It really resonates with me because I grew up watching Dragon Ball. People are going to do that, and they're going to start buying a product, and product's going to go crazy. And Bandai, with just how hard it has been for even me to find product, and I usually can get my hands on, cases at a time with some of the connects I have. I can't, again, like, I needed to drive 30 minutes to get this to get this starter deck. Anyways, I'm complaining a little bit too much. I totally forgot I should be opening this, like I said at the beginning of the video. And let's see what we have on the inside. Oh, is that a full art? I think I see a full art in here, and it is a full art. Are they all full arts? I don't know. Okay, another Turtles. Awesome. Wait, what's the difference? I don't really see a difference. Is there a difference? I'm so confused. I don't know, guys. I mean, I guess the bottom lettering here is slightly different. So that's why it has a little star telling you that's alt art. Is the card bigger? No. I guess the edges on the original is just darker, whereas the edges on this one the art extends out to the edge. Wait, the art extends out to the edge here too. It's just the edges are darker, right? That's it. And the lettering here on the left, it's a little bit grayer. Okay. And this thing here, like the text block, you have this black backdrop. This one does not have that black backdrop. So this card does look better, but not meaningfully so. And I think these original holos are just so cool by itself. And one thing I should say as well before I end the video is that with Dragon Ball Fusion World, they're SRs, right? These cards just look so good. And I mean, this one looks like it even has texture on it. It's like this shattered ice foil. This one doesn't even have that, right? This is the alt art version. This one has that shatter hollow in the background. I think there's a better official name to that. And this looks so clean, right? It actually overshadows, in my opinion, this alternate art version. And this is a consistent problem for One Piece, for Dragon Ball Fusion World. If you look at some of the alternate arts, they don't look as good versus some of the SRs. Some of the SRs just look even better, right? They even look like they have texture on them, which is incredible. Anyways, if you guys are thinking about investing in alternate arts, do be careful. This is not like One Piece where alternate arts actually look so much better, right? The SR versions are like actual alternate arts, and the base versions just kind of look kind of crappy and maybe a little bit glossy on the edges, and it looks okay. It's just a nice hollow, but it's not like this, right? Like, come on. So I personally, right now on release, I don't know if I would just start buying up tons of alternate arts out there, um, thinking that it's just gonna be like very high in price. I personally think that Bandai might have made a mistake by making the SRs just look really, really, really nice, right? It might actually push people to not rip as much. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just kind of speculating here. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe. Um, I again look to get a couple of videos out per week. I guess I hit my 2 video quota for this week. Let's see if I get a booster box to open one of these days as well. And maybe I'll make another video for that. I'm really excited for the Fusion World digital game. I'm really excited to go to celebration events this week if I can at least get some of the other green staples to complete this Brawly deck. Yeah, just I'm looking forward to diving into this game. Hopefully you guys are as well. Let me know what you guys think of this game as well, if you guys are excited for it as I am. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Talk to you guys next time.